Hello. I have to stand on my tiptoes for this to work. You are inside a cupboard. What? Yes. We're making... This is... Do these things have intros? I don't know if this has an intro. Do I do an intro? I guess we're doing an intro. Welcome to AirTV. No, I'm not doing an intro. We're doing a ScranTV. We're making chocolate mug cake. This is editing Phoebe here. I was just looking over the footage, and so I got that intro, and then the SD card was full, so I had to, change it and reset up the camera. And I must have knocked the focus and not realised, because the rest of it is completely out of focus. So you're gonna get your wonderful voiceovers from me. Okay, first we have flour. Plain flour, because I never have self-raising flour, and I use this recipe, just baking powder instead. And then we've got granulated sugar instead of caster, same thing, who cares. Okay, next ingredient, we have hot chocolate powder or cocoa powder if you have it. Again, same thing. So hot chocolate powder just has a bit more sugar. Baking powder, you need this if you're not going to use self-raising flour. So baking powder and plain flour equal self-raising flour, basically. Then we're on to the wet ingredients. So I need to go and get... The camera is set up on a ladder, by the way. But there, milk. It doesn't really matter what kind of milk. And oil. I think that's sunflower oil, but the label's gone. But it doesn't really matter what kind of oil you use. Ooh, and then you will need a set of spoons. Tablespoon is very important, and then half teaspoon, quarter teaspoon, and you may as well just have a teaspoon as well. Depends what size mix you're doing. Oh, and a mug. Mug is also important if you're making mug cake. Fun fact. I know, crazy. So that mug, my mug is a pint mug, so I use double mix. You can see it compared to the regular mug, it's much bigger. Yeah, I mean, look at the size difference. So if you're going to use a regular mug, you can do a single mix. If you use a pint mug like mine, I do a double mix. Don't do a double mix in a regular mug because it will overflow. Okay, first thing, so the recipe asks for 3 tablespoons of flour, so for a double I am going to do 6. Do them flat, not heaped, just so that you're not having too much dry ingredients, because you can't heap liquids. Fun fact. Sugar. Recipe asks for 2 tablespoons of sugar, so I'm going to do 4. Okay, that's sugar done. And then cocoa powder or hot chocolate powder. The recipe asks for 1 tablespoon, so I do 2. And then baking powder. So baking powder is technically at the bottom of the ingredient list in the recipe, but I like to do all the dry ingredients first and then all the wet ingredients. So recipe asks for a quarter teaspoon, so I'm going to do a half teaspoon. Recipe asks for 1 tablespoon of oil, so you know the drill. I'm just going to do 2. And then it wants 3 tablespoons of milk, so I'm going to do 6. I've only ever done this with cow milk, semi-skilled cow milk to be precise. I really don't think it matters that much, but it's worth giving it a quick Google if you're going to use oat or almond or soy or something, just in case it changes things. And those milks tend to be a bit sweeter as well, so again, might be worth cutting out some of the sugar if you're going to use something like that. Okay, that is all of the ingredients. Okay, then you get your spoon and give it all a mix, making sure to get all of the flour out from the corners. Do round mugs have corners? I guess not. You know what I mean, like out of the edges. Otherwise you're going to have flour there, and it's going to... And when you get to the bottom of the cake, there's going to be lots of flour left and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, make sure you give that a good mix. The consistency, I mean, you all know what a chocolate cake mix should look like, right? It's like a thick soup. Okay, so it should look like, you can't really see that, like this. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen, but I need to stop my dog from eating it. Scrabble! Okay, now if it's all mixed, time to put it in the microwave. Make sure to take the metal spoon out first. That would not be a wise thing to put in the microwave. So the recipe says to put it in for 70 to 90 seconds. Because I'm doing a double mix, it needs to be in for a little bit longer. So I just put it in for roughly 1 minute 40 there. Just to, because that's 10, I mean, I make this quite a lot. So, and then once it's done, we'll check it and see. My microwave doesn't have like wattage amounts, it just has high temperature, medium high, medium low and low. But the recipe I think is for like a 700-800 watt microwave, but you can figure that out. And again, my timing isn't precise, it's just a dial. But yeah, I would say for a double mix, you'll probably end up needing 2 minutes, but it's worth just doing it for a little bit less, and then because you'd rather have it undercooked and put it in for longer than overcooked. Okay, it's done. Check it. Now, this you can't really see there, but it's only half of it's looking like that spongy texture it should. The rest of it's looking quite wet. So we're going to put it back in for a little bit longer. I put it in for about another 40 seconds there. The benefit of this recipe though is because it doesn't use egg, there is nothing in this mix that is harmful if you eat it raw, so you could. Microwave's done, so let's open it up. And it's looking pretty good. For anyone curious, this is what Scrabble got in her advent calendar. It's like dog safe chocolate. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Also, this is your setup, by the way. Step ladder in the middle of the kitchen. It's the way to go. And this is the aftermath. All of this shit. And this is what it looks like. That's crap lighting. Can you see that? I don't think you can. It looks good, she says. But as you can see, that little white bit there, that's because I didn't mix it properly. But yeah, the mess. And that is your mug cake, everybody. If you can, see. Yeah. That's it.